Hello, my name is Russell Myers, independent for U.S. President for 2024. U.S. former President Donald J. Trump has been indicted by a Manhattan grand jury at this. This was just announced today. The precise charges are sealed. So the sealed indictment, we will not know what the charges are until, that is opened up in court. Now, I'm not making any judgment one direction or another on this. What this has to do with in some way is hush money that was paid to porn star Stormy Daniels that he was alleged to have had an affair with, and money was paid to her. He denies it, but money was paid to her in 2016, just prior to the election, for her to remain silent about it. Now, interesting, but I don't think it really even has to do with him paying her, as it has to do with where the money came from, which was his campaign. Now, his former attorney, Michael Cohen, has already spent time in prison for mishandling, illegal handling of campaign finance. This becomes, rather than a civil court case, it becomes a federal, I'll get to that, but a federal crime because the money went from his campaign to pay her. So there are a few problems here, which include the fact that, they would have to prove that he knew that the money was coming from the campaign, not from his own finances, to pay her. So that's something that would have to be proved by a prosecutor. To this being a federal offense, the charges are, the indictment is being brought by the Manhattan district attorney, not a federal prosecutor. So that I'm kind of questioning about, but considering what was going on up to this point, it's unquestionable that it has to do with that issue. So just to make it clear, it should be pretty obvious I'm not supporting him because I'm running against him. So, pardon me, my allergies are killing me. But here's where the real problem lies with this. For his supporters, and even people that are neutral, on the fence, that might mildly lean toward him, this indictment does mean that if he is not convicted, it's a good chance that 2024 has just been handed to him on a silver platter. Because there have been so many attempts to go after him. It's always being said that, stuff, just rolls off of him. It's been very difficult, to prove many of the allegations that have been thrown at him, and there are still numerous investigations and so forth, for him to claim that this is a witch hunt, this kind of gives credence to that for his followers, or for people that can be convinced that way. Doesn't matter whether it's true or not. The only thing that matters is the perception that this is the case. Now, as a result of this indictment, he is going to be arrested. Now, he is not a flight risk, so that does not mean that police are going to show up at his office or pick him up off the sidewalk and slap handcuffs on him and throw him in a squad car. That's not what's going to happen. He will be allowed to voluntarily surrender himself, and he will be booked into jail. He probably will not be handcuffed. So the people that are looking forward to that are not going to get to see it. He could be handcuffed when he goes to court, but cameras are probably not going to be allowed into the courtroom. He will be fingerprinted. He will have a mugshot taken. That will be made public. He'll be dressed out in orange or whatever color Manhattan uses for prisoners up there. But I don't expect him to remain in custody for long. He will probably be given the option to bond out. Again, because he is not a flight risk. He is not a physical threat to anyone, himself or others. While he is in custody, I can guarantee that he is going to be kept in isolation under what is considered protective custody, because it could place him at risk, physical risk, if he were placed in general population. So, where this goes from here, I know a lot of people are going to be completely ecstatic about this and the images that are going to come out of this, the mugshot and what have you, and other people are going to be enraged by it. We'll just have to wait and see what direction this goes. I expect that any trial or whatever that occurs, that it's going to be dragged out as long as possible to actually try and drag it beyond Election Day in 2024. Because no federal charges have been filed as yet. It's not a federal indictment. And yet, if this is regarding campaign finance, that is a federal charge. We're going to have to wait and see what the actual charges in this indictment are. Whether it's felony or whatever the charges are. I'm not going to try and postulate that. I'm not a lawyer. This is just what I do know up to this point. Now, like I said, I am not a supporter of Trump, and to some degree, I kind of dislike it if he gets taken out of the running, because I would love to be on a debate stage with him, because I really feel that I would wipe the floor with him. But, of course, I would have to be able to get onto that debate stage first. And that's a difficult thing to do, but I'm trying. Anyway, share this video, talk about these subjects. If you can afford it, please donate whatever you can to help expand this campaign, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching and for following the campaign, and have a good day.